UK Masters and stuff like that, and neither of the teams have started particularly strong. I think we've got them same results-ish. No, I think Reason are doing a little bit better. Like they're 0-3-1, not really anything impressive. And you can say the same sort of on the other side for Infused, like they're 0-1-3. So like in terms of wins, it's really not going well for them at all. I think Reason are not in the Premiership, so a lot of the sort of UK stuff, you say that's where you look. Like you look at Prem, you look at these sort of places, and they're not there at all. So, and I think in the previous season, the 5th out of 8 coming in for Infused. So not like really at the top iterations either way.
Well, we are going to find out how well this unfolds. Reason, of course, going to start out on the CT side. Infused, if I'm not mistaken, won the knife and actually chosen to go T. So looking to exert that dominance very early on here. Maybe just send a message through and also punish Reason. It's very hard to play those CT sides if you don't have your full 5.
Yeah, already seeing a little bit of aggression coming out. As said, like one of the things we look for is sort of taking that banana control, and T's have got it without any real struggle, but they're sending a lot of their players over towards apps. In fact, if you look at the CT side at the moment, they've got 3 players over towards B, and the remaining 2 players are very passive over on the A side.
I guess it's which book do you read from? This map is incredibly hard to play retake on. Do you just gamble it on B, but then you find no information? So again, it's a weird one that Reason are going for. I don't mind it, but you're putting a lot of faith in Mace to do something about this. There's already 4 players on the site. He's so overwhelmed. He can't do anything about it. Fry just flies in, gets him down. And, well, you've already got Cray locked off. So you've got a 4-man retake here, which is certainly powerful. It can happen. But the off-plant positions with 5 alive for Infuse are going to be so good.
Yeah, they had the one stand-in aggressive in the site, and the rest of the players are going to look to try and retake as a team. Cray can't quite find the shots. Now, they do have a smoke and a kit, but with 5 players on the site, they need to start finding some kills. So far, not so good, as it will be Fry to actually find one more and leaving it just down as the T's just wipe them out one by one, and not a single kill coming in for the CTs.
As soon as you get that nice kind of after-plant position in the pit, especially coupled with even just 3 players, you can get a lovely 3-man stack towards that sort of area. I guess the triangle of death is how people like to refer to it as. You also can get it on B as well, you know, the new box, dark corner, and someone over by, you know, maybe coils. It's so hard to play back into it. So if 5 alive, you do no damage, you know you're in for a rough ride, especially I think they had maybe a smoke, and that was their lot. You've got to have a lot to work back in normally. So I don't know if I fully enjoy passive CT retakes coming back in towards A, but again, if they'd gone B, it might have been a different picture. It could have been a completely different round, but good start out here for Infused, of course, getting themselves, you know, a little bit of, I guess you take away some of those nerves, don't you? You kind of shake it off a little bit. You start feeling a little bit more confident about coming into this matchup.
Yeah, the thing is as well, the way they looked to actually play that round was, on the CT side at least, was, okay, stand in, you're dedicated, you're in, you're sort of like the cannon fodder in a way, and then the rest of us, the team, will try and retake, and I don't know. In a lot of situations on certain maps, maybe you can do that, like on Train, where you have
like
maybe
on
one
Mirage
person.
as well.
Yeah.
Don't mind on Mirage at all.
But on Inferno, the A site's normally the heavier presence. Maybe not in Pistol. I understand in Pistol having 3 players over towards B, because you do have very quick rushes coming in. But the second there wasn't a quick rush, they needed to rotate someone off.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, the problem with Inferno is it's one of the hardest retake maps. Flat out, you talk to anyone. I think you know there's the 2 kind of phrases you'll often hear between pro players is, oh, it's, you know, the hardest to retake, or if you don't have money, if your economy gets hindered in any way, you can't play CT side. You're limited on T side. You can still make things happen with maybe a Tech 9 and a smoke or so. You can play out of apps. We've seen that become more prevalent, but I don't know if we're going to see that on the T sides, at least in this matchup, because they're relatively complex. But you kind of need that support system there, and it's one of the maps that just punishes you if you don't get it.
Yeah, I'm guessing got a little bit of a problem or something going on at the moment, or just a pause. Maybe they really didn't.
I have
like
99 problems, okay? But CS isn't one right now. It is a technical timeout, so hopefully they just get themselves fixed up. But I'd rather it happen now than, you know, midway through a game you start losing momentum, you get frustrated. It's the first round. It's fine. Sit out for a second, get it done, get it fixed up. Because you don't want to start blaming things either. You don't want to get halfway through a game and go, oh, something wrong with my mouse the whole time.
Well,
oh, that's it. It's like, you might as well do it now. I'd much prefer them just to get it sorted.
Well, yeah, and the T's, the ones who may normally lose some sort of advantage, they're going in with an inherent advantage with having a better buy. So the only real thing would be whether or not we're going to see the CTs maybe save a little bit more money. Because for me personally, in these sort of rounds, like we see a lot of teams force, like all the time. It's pretty much the norm to see investment in
pistols. A couple have
pistols.
started to back off from it. There was
on Inferno,
big and
I like
such,
it.
isn't there? Yeah.
On Inferno, I like it. Maybe go for like a deagle and not armor behind it, and then just make sure you have the extra utility. an incendiary in that 4th round buy for me is like the biggest thing.
Paramount, yeah.
Just having that banana control early on, the deep smoke, just to take it away. And because especially when we looked at the way their T's even played the pistol, they didn't particularly need banana control, but they had it if they wanted it. There was no aggression at all. And that's another thing, having 3 players on B and nobody peeking at all.
I think they had a little early look. I think that was it. They had a small look down there and then just instantly back. And it's like, well, you either commit and you kind of work your way down, you play at the top, you kind of put someone maybe behind sandbags. Even though it always gets checked on, you can at least get information. You can, do something with it. You can kind of play in your other teammate. But at that, I just didn't see much. It's a little flat. Is what I'm saying. This is the first round, of course. This is all we get to go off. So it's not like we can give.
We haven't learned anything
super in depth anything yet. But no, I kind of expect some decent level-headed play coming out from Infused, just purely because when I look at these lineups, I see Aaron, I see Red Snake. And for me, I remember those names from when I watched these guys, very at the early days of CSGO and, going back to previous iterations. So for me, it's like, well, I don't think these guys will get as nervous on this stage in these pressure games. They should have the focus there. And we'll see if that comes through down the line. For now, they're in a good position. Of course, 1-0 up. Infused leading on the T side, but everything's fixed. Everything's all good. And we'll see if maybe the CT side fancies a little go towards Banana. But already you can see that early Molotov to allow control, to push players like Red Snake up, who's on that Mac 10.
Yeah, we do see pretty much full investment coming out from the CT side as well, other than Karma, who's likely to be saving for the AWP. Now, CT side at the moment, they've gone for the same sort of setup we saw before. A little bit more presence from Cray actually on the A side this time, not just a complete abandonment of his teammate. And then still 3 players. It's a sort of semi-stack, just waiting to see if they can catch players out over on B.
Yeah, all I'm going to do is in this round is look at Red Snake and Aaron, see how much money they can farm, and basically then the other 3 with the rifles, don't lose them. Simple as that. For Reason, you want anything you can. It's complete just fair game. If you get any gun away, brilliant. That's a nice bonus. You do have head armor invested here, so a relatively sizable amount's been invested by Reason, so they do want to do as much as possible, but again, this stack. If Infused start feeling out how they like to play this, if this is maybe not necessarily a go-to, but a look that they often try and bring out, Infused can read this and then just start wrapping CT, splitting up, doing a couple of players through apps, you just pincer in towards pit and sight. It's impossible to hold, but that's a lot of reading into the game, maybe over-researching almost if they actually did watch demos back, but they're doing it so far very nicely. The player on balcony could be in real trouble if they take a wider peek on it. And here we go, let's see if he does manage to survive. Eagle's going to come out and, well, so far it's gone about as well as expected.
Yeah, nice flash, but it doesn't matter. They take both heads off anyway, and well, CT side now, there's not really any point. They might as well just hold on to what they have, try and do something similar in the next round with the pistols, maybe go a bit more aggressive and try and take some heads off. And from the T side perspective, okay, maybe send the Mac 10 out to try and farm a little bit. Other than that, just hold on to what you got.
They've done fine. And the best thing here for Infused as well, and I guess the worst thing for Reason, even when they do finally get to their buy, if they don't get any kills on the board, if they keep this very low kill sort of impact game going through, their money's even going to be limited when they do finally get that buy. There's going to be a couple of pieces missing maybe here and there, maybe a kit not quite there, maybe an AWP not going to quite, there's always that slight issue if you're not getting any kills at the start, and Infused, they're in free farm mode. They're great in this. They've kept a little bit of utility back, a couple of flashes, don't need to invest into too much. They know the next round is going to be even lighter as well. This so far is very good and very, very poor showings from Reason, just alone in damage factor. I don't expect them to win the rounds. I expect a little bit of damage to come through, hopefully.
Yeah, and the big thing so far has just been they've been so passive on A that they don't have any rotations. It's just not possible. No. Now, I sort of understand it in that round where they're just trying to catch out a couple of players and maybe gamble, but at the same time, you can go for the polar opposite and just go for info plays. Like, find something out, maybe try and stack a site instead.
They're doing the exact same. I was like, oh, this looks like a replay from last round, Tom. And we having a look back.
They're at least taking something in apps. So they have a bit more information. And you've got Cinder as well, he's rotated, so they have an additional armored player at least, but not expecting too much here.
I like the playthrough up, so you've got a small chance of maybe trading into this. Get the info on one, and no trade instantly available. Mace, a little slow on this. This is when you die, you look at your team and like, you weren't up for trading that? No? Okay, cool. But Mace can maybe work something out now. That could be quite nice for him. But overall, the hit's coming in towards B. In the end, Aaron's found it anyway, and Red Snake kind of forced in towards this one, but does very nicely. And just need to check on Dark here.
Oh, okay. Hoodlum gets one, but it is only the Mac 10. He did his job. That was it. He just had to run around, basically be a bit of a pain, push out all of the positions and then just make sure those AK stay standing. He's not going to really want that MAC-10 into the next round. Some people do risk it because there's no head armor a lot of the time. That's one of the sort of skimps you have to go into that 4th round by. But no, other than that, pretty basic rounds coming out from Infused. As said, they've just been feeling out the map, getting control, and executing onto the site.
That's all I want to see is decent, you know, I say decent T-sides, but that's kind of, I guess, if you throw your mind up to tier 1, they go through the kind of basics, they go through the checklist, almost second nature, and when they don't, that's where it stands out. But here, they need to keep that in mind. They need to do the basics. You need map control. You need to tender for Banana early. You need to show presence towards apps, really spam it out to ensure that CTs don't get over-aggressive. They don't get that kind of easy map control or information for free. You've got to be able to do this stuff. So I'm hoping we see that from Infused. That's all I want to see is, good play. That's quite simply it. So again, I'm still learning how these players and teams are starting to form up and kind of come through this league, because you start something off and then you go through the entire season, you end up with a new look. But yeah, this is an interesting buy coming out from Cinder.
Oh.
Why have you done this?
Not a fan.
I don't think anyone is.
Oh, there's a few.
CLG Red?
Emily, yeah, she's a fan. Drove me up the wall in the past. But there's the Molotovs at least, so they do have that early presence. The same will come out from the Ts. Haven't actually taken any control as of yet. And Karma's actually over towards B with the AWP, so if he can get set up, they can actually go for a bit of a early rotation back and have that sort of 4A presence. Now, in the early round at least, we have seen presence out from Infused. They've taken control of the apartments. Not really going too aggressive as of yet, and there is a boost coming in as well.
Trying to work out which smoke this is. I'm not sure if it's a deeper one towards CT Arch, but it's around that marker anyway. They're essentially going to maybe pinch towards quad and then play out of apps off the back of it.
Boost is
Now Hoodlum, yeah, but that flash isn't bad at all. But there's the check. That's the mind I expect from someone like Red Snake to be able to check for these things and not allow it to spiral too far away. But now Mace is in trouble. 4 players just knocking on his door. Good crossfire though. Craze there finally. We're seeing Reason lock this one down for now. Aaron's got to go big, or it's now finally the first round on the board for Reason.
Yeah, 1v3. He's very low on health as well, down to just 34. Bomb on the site is not going to be helping him at all. Getting that back is impossible. He just has to go out firing, try and take down as many players. Now, they made a lot of money in the last couple of rounds, so in terms of cash, he's absolutely fine. But to try and find someone here is going to be very, very difficult. They've got a passive hold over towards Arch. Karma just waiting for a player to cross. He does actually have a smoke, but that would give away his angle. So throwing that down is unlikely, and checking into Arch, that is pretty slim. There's so many angles to actually cover. He is actually going to go for it, but it doesn't matter. Karma will finish things off. 3 players alive for the CT side is a decent start into the buy rounds, but the Ts are definitely going to be buying back in.
That was a lovely crossfire setup on the site. You can see it here. Crate playing off Mace very well as well. Both of them. Nice little bit of positioning. Sadly for Infused, timing not quite there, but we do see the ult coming out, as you said. Fine to buy here. They've done well in the first couple of rounds. They've been getting themselves certainly on the board, so a really nice purchase coming through. On the other side, decent enough, they kept a good couple of players alive, so thankfully for them, they can get a good purchase for themselves, and Karma's going for something big. That's a lot of players. He's going to be under pressure now if they do try and pressure this one up further towards the top, but they don't. And actually, there's a challenge coming back in from Reason. They're not backing away from this now.
Yeah, Cinder, one of their heavy hitters over the last couple of weeks, is going to be hiding back. Now, he doesn't really have much support here, so he has to try and isolate them. The flash actually catches the Ts more than the CT side, so that's going to slow them down quite a bit. Rotation already coming out from Cray, and there's the peek from Karma. Finds one, looks for another through the wall, doesn't quite manage to connect, but it is quite a prominent wall bang to come in. Cinder still just waiting as they push in, looks for the shots, finds Red Snake, who goes through the smoke alone, and a second flash is absolutely perfect. The shots may miss a little bit, but just teamwork coming out at the moment from Reason. It's shot down. There's a couple of low players. Fry trying to push in. But he's 1v5.
That is awkward as hell from Infused. And now you've got to go up against it. 2 players certainly could be picked up here for Fry, but has to get past the first test, which will be Cray. Molly comes in. Now you know you're kind of screwed. He does have a smoke, so he could have put that one out and tried to play through it, but he went for the fight and he loses out. Cinder! I'm going to shut it down. And, well, I've got to say, credit where it's due. The flashes coming through on Banana then basically allowed that entirety, the whole thing to happen. Because the T-side, they had mollies. Look at this now. 3 mollies left up here. Good couple of flashes. They could easily push Cinder out of the position. But for now, you can see those flashes coming through and through and through. By the end of it, 3 players there. Reason, putting players in the right place pretty much. I'm surprised that Infused are kind of playing like this. They didn't fully commit, but then they also didn't have presence anywhere else on the map. So again, I'm kind of curious what their game plan is. If they're going to put all 5 up Banana, but do it slowly, how do you not expect the CTs to read into it somehow?
And why buy 3 Molotovs if none of them are going to sandbags? Like, that's madness. That's just such an easy position to clear. It forces him into the open. And yeah, the flashbangs helped, but he would have been dead. He had 1 HP towards the end. So just some mistakes that shouldn't be used. Like, if you're going to buy utility, at least use it. Like, that would be nice. But either way.
I'm trying to think of if maybe they had a set piece towards a site that they like to kind of do the carpet bomb almost of the whole B site covering it. But still, it's worthwhile to put one to the corner if you're having trouble with it. But again, I like this. At least they've kind of defaulted to begin with, and they're falling back to, again, this sort of B hit. Now, there's no stack there instantly, but I'm wondering if Cray's going to start getting a little itchy, starting to read into the game and want to get over towards that B side. Molly goes in. That's going to do wonders. Cinder, though, gets a little ahead of himself, but how does he still come with 1? Good stuff between Red Snake and Mick to at least kind of power through, but by now they're down to 3, and they need to get that bomb towards the site.
Yeah, Trials actually goes up in the flames as well, which will help them nicely into that 3v3 retake, but they picked up weaponry, which is important. A couple of players were only on pistols, and now the retake of the B side is going to be difficult. They've got a decent amount of utility onto Mace, though, so he could clear a couple of angles. It's going to go in. First frag found. Peak has to come out from Red Snake. Somehow stays alive long enough, but it's all onto Fry, and he's gone as well. Hoodlum and Co will do the retake as well, and Reason are going to get themselves a 3rd.
Some of the things I'm seeing, Tom.
Team Ace. Isn't that nice?
That's not what I was talking about. That's how I feel. If that just happened to me. 3-3 now. Infused money has been pretty much ripped away to a smaller degree. They can still get some sort of purchase here. Red Snake going pretty heavy into the buy, under 2k now, but it's fine. They've got a fair bit of money building up throughout them. They'll be okay at the end. But on the other side, Reason now getting very well set. Considering they had an incredibly rocky start, they lost out on the pistol. They looked very definitive for Infused. They've bounded back very nicely. And I've got to say, I like these deep smokes. Could allow for CT aggression. Not going to go for it, but it does kind of isolate the rest of Infused, who are all in second mid, working their way up towards the apartments with the, I guess, the molly, the smoke, and the flash there on Red Snake. He'll be the one setting this up, of course, in-game leader. And a bit of a support player, I guess you could say, to a degree.
Yeah.
Already going to start trying to vie for some control. I wonder if this smoke's maybe going to go down towards pit side. Maybe sit by the cart. No, just a close one towards quad. And they're just going to go on this. Okay, this is an interesting one.
Yeah, they're wrapping around. Cray is going to be in position to actually try and catch off the players as they make their way past. They've only got 1 flashbang, so it needs to be used very well. But the Molotov will actually be thrown in. Wouldn't have forced him off the angle, but they're trying to wrap. Only 1 player over towards the B side for the T's, going up Banana, but Karma well positioned. He knows what's going on. The rotation, though, is fairly slow from the A players, making their way back up. But Karma's got a lot to do, and he misses the shots. That'll be an AWP into the hands, and Aaron's managed to get himself 2. Leaving it into a 4 versus 3, as they will be coming up Banana. The aggression not going to pay off for Fry, and Cray's going to get 1 more.
That was such a nice play towards B then. That wrap through CT was absolutely perfect. You could see the hesitation on Reason to actually try and play back in for it, but they made up their mind. They went up Banana. They've got the slow play coming out from Hoodlum through CT, but Aaron's got a really nice spot. Now, it's annoying to check that deep on him, but still Hoodlum wins it. And now down to Trials. Well, that's gone pretty poorly in the end. Finding 1 is not enough. And I love the idea. I love the theory. But the execution, when it comes down to the very end, just falls away from them.
Yeah, it seems like maybe after plants are a little bit more of a problem, because actually getting onto the site, they've been doing very well. Finding the openings on Banana in the previous round, taking down both players with just trades, and getting into, what, a 3v3 and then a 4v3, and losing both without really doing too much damage to the CT side either is a little bit of a worry, especially, like, you look at the position, for example, Aaron, he should be hitting that shot. Like, he has the inherent advantage there, and ends up actually being taken down by Hoodlum, and that changes it in the end.
You see the CT's getting a little more confident now. They went for a mid-peak, got flashed off it, but I like that. I'd rather Reason kind of try and put their foot down on this matchup, not allow Infused to feel like they've got a shot back in, even though they are getting close. It's pretty frustrating to lose those retakes, or when you've got the bomb down and you're in those afterplants. So for Infused, just, you know, try and grind through it, but I hope the Reason try and make it hurt, make them feel bad. You know, you're playing against a team who've got to stand it. You shouldn't be losing out, but nice deep Banana control being exerted by Reason again. Cinder can work his way down. Deep smoke goes in, and that's the first frag found. So already you've got Infused put into a bit of a corner.
Yeah, and I think they've got the AWP set up as well. It might even be boosted, just waiting over towards that Banana spot, so there can be a quick rotate to A if necessary. Hoodlum, he's been above before, now looks to switch his spot a little bit. Has support from Cray, but it looks like he's been spotted out, and they have clearly seen Hoodlum. He's taking a lot of damage just while sitting back. A fourth player does now rotate in, so it's all down to the AWP. If they look to switch things up, but with 45 seconds, it does look like the Ts are getting ready to execute on A.
I like this, so they've just left Karma over by B, and he's fine. As long as they don't allow that wrap again to come in towards CT Arch, which they shouldn't do. You've got 2 players there. They should be fine. Nice positioning here, allowing MCK or Mick, however you want to refer to him as, up and over. Gets a little bit of a look towards Pit, but that victory there, Red Snake finding Cray, is going to be big. This puts it now towards Cinder's hands, and he actually loses out, but time, 25 seconds. They still need to go towards A, and there's 2 players in Pit.
Yeah, it's all going to be down to Hoodlum. He's got to try and deny this plant. Sprays, finds one. Already running onto the site, and he'll be taken down. Leaves it onto Karma with an AWP on a retake. He'll have to find a kill very quickly for this to be possible. Going to peek in, looking around the corner. Spots nobody. And the after plants are very passive at the moment from the Ts, and rightly so. Don't need to show anything in this situation, and because of that, Karma has to fall away.
No, I like that plant as well, just purely, I think it was big doing against Cloud9 recently, and it caught them off so many times trying to save in towards CT, because with the bomb planted on that side of the wall on A, you still get killed on the other side of it, even on fairly decent HP, so I kind of like that switch up. But let's kind of go back to that CT Arch wrap that's suddenly starting to work for Infused. It feels like that's their answer so far. Even a very late hit towards it, they're down to the last one, I guess, 30 seconds around that marker before they got the bomb down. By the time they got it planted, they're in good after plant positions. MCK then delivered massively for them.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of risky moments, though, in that push. Like Cinder coming in from behind, like him not really doing too much there. That could have been a big moment. He could have taken down 2, 3, because they didn't really check the angle properly. It was sort of a spin-around headshot that took him out. So still very close. Now the money's going to be fully invested for reasons. So they're very close to being reset over on that CT side. And as mentioned at the beginning, we talk how important utility is and how, for them at least, it looks like having that AWP as part of their setup is massive. Karma spots the head, but doesn't quite manage to find himself the shot. And, well, the aggressive peak, he's going to actually play that more rotational role now as he goes into apps.
Well, I like his fluidity. It's annoying to play against. He's been at B, he's now been at mid, he's now playing apps. I think it's refreshing to see an AWP being that, you know...
The JW style. Exactly,
just switch up position. Device on overpass CT side. He's everywhere. It feels like you can't get away from him. I like that sort of play. I think it's nice to see. It's something that you don't often see at a level that's not tier 1 as well. So credit to Karma for being pretty much everywhere. And if he's got Panya in his name because of that weird golf game he used to be able to play, even more credit to him.
I hate that I actually get that reference as well. I actually know what that is.
Yep. I liked it. It was a weird game, but, you know, it is what it is. But if that is the reason, he's my new favourite player. 53 seconds remain. And I prefer this from Hoodlum. If he can post up here and just be a real nuisance and deny that CT Arch wrap, it might take Infused out of that comfort zone, but surely they change up now. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over, I guess, without expecting a response. So hopefully they go through a checklist and there is something prepared for, okay, what if someone's close?
Oh, this is bad though for Hoodlum. Going to be forced out of position. MCK, they've actually gone in at this time, but somehow Hoodlum manages to get the kill. Karma on the site. He's got to do a lot with this AWP, trying to duck and weave and gets taken down instead. It's MCK once again finding those opening kills. And now the remaining 2 players, Cinder is very far away. Cray is available, but he'll have to solo push if he wants to find something, but does actually manage a kill. Doesn't have a kit, however, so he needs his teammate to get here fast.
How is he allowed to get that? How are you allowing that to be an untradeable way back into this? Let's have a look at these after plant positions now. They're going to adjust, both getting positions that favor playing in towards the short push coming through. Aaron sprays in, he does get one, great stuff! And MCK to close it well. That guy is coming to his own. He's not delivered once now, but twice, and it's all in these situations where they need the kills to come in and be delivered to get these CTs off the site, just get that final push through. He is right there.
Yeah, no, his entry kills have been phenomenal so far, especially considering that was what they sort of struggled with the first few rounds, was actually just finding that pick. And the second they do that, it just grants them more control. Granted, they did actually lose the sort of player over towards Arch anyway, and Hoodlum probably should have gone down. But in the grand scale of things, they now reset the economy of reason. It's just going to be pistols. Can't really afford to invest much more. They do have a flashbang, which I always like to see. I like to see a flashbang picked up to maybe make some sort of play with it. It doesn't seem to have achieved anything, but it's $200.
Exactly. It's a really small investment, smaller than a P250 upgrade, and it's just that chance, right? You catch that one guy with an AK just off guard. Feels good, but what feels even better is a deagle. Hoodlum's going to deliver that bullet to the brain of Red Snake. And now 4v4. You can see Reason trying to just kind of stack up almost in duos, just going to put themselves in pairs and just hope they get more done. You don't expect to win these rounds, and you know, unless you do something horrific, basically on the T side. It's it's unforced errors at that point. So again,
Okay.
Hoodlum.
Spoke too soon.
Aaron, why are you doing this? Why are you down to 3 players now, Infused? Why is this allowed? Mace now can just fall back. He can now play in Cinder. I hate this. I hate this so much, Tom. It's making me very uncomfortable watching this maybe go away. But thankfully, Infused just vaguely remember how to play CS. But they don't check the corners. And Mace gets the bomb down. It's all gone terribly wrong. But an AK now to hand gets ripped away. Fry saves the day. But what on earth was that?
Well, yeah, that's already a successful round. 3 players dropped. Nice amount of damage done by the CT side. The Ts won't be able to build up money in a round where I think pretty much the most expensive thing they had was a Deagle. Nice couple of shots from Hoodlum, though, just peeking different angles as well.
Those 2 shots, brilliant. That's nice. Again, maybe having the players solo working through apps wasn't a great idea, but the guy in mid just got absolutely ripped on. That's fine. But the others, I can't watch this without getting a little upset.
Quick aggression, though, coming out. T-side actually doing a little bit of damage to themselves, but not anything they can't repair. Push going to be coming in. They've got 4 players on Banana this time. Aggression out from the CT side, and it's just destruction. 1 man now, Cray, the only person anywhere near the action. If he goes down, the CTs are almost definitely saving here. He's got to do a lot, and, well, he's out within seconds.
I was wondering if they're actually going to check on it, purely due to the fact they'd already killed 2 towards B. I don't know if they'd have expected a 3rd that quick, but they do eventually find him. He doesn't do the impact that maybe he was dreaming of. But with these 2 so far away, you're just not going to get back to B in time. Simple as that. That's why it's so hard to play retake on this site. Or at least from if you're playing the pit side of this side of A all the way over towards B. It's almost impossible to be able to make it there in time and then pull it off. So the 3 remaining players on the T side should survive unless they decide that, you know, staying close to the bomb is where they want to be.
Pretty low.
They are. There's on 12 and 16. So hopefully they decide to retreat away as a team and keep those guns in hand. Again, I'm not sure how the money's sitting for Infused at the moment. Of course, we know that Reasons is a little back and forth, to say the least, just purely because, you know, win a few, lose a few, it goes just about everywhere. So, okay, we've got a couple of players now on the T side trying to build up those funds.
Yeah, they're keeping 3 players alive is where you actually start making the money as well, so better from them. Obviously, it's the same sort of rounds coming in, though, over towards that B side. It always seems to be CT sides. Either they're going for a little bit of a late aggress over towards Banana, which I don't really understand because they don't have any information. They don't know if there's somebody already waiting there, which in that round at least there was. And then they get taken down, they lose the site, and it's always some sort of retake or, in that case, just had to give up. So I would like to see them go one way or the other. When they actually just took control of Banana, the round seemed to go much better. They had 4 players on A when the push began to come in a few rounds ago. So Bob, there you go. Cinder actually is going to take some control. Of course, this round, he's got a pistol. He needs to get close. So it's all part of the plan.
Is he going to be flashed through? Yeah. Here it comes. Flash comes in, and it flashes Cinder. Ooh, that wasn't the plan, was it?
He wasn't ready.
No. I don't think any of us are ready for that sort of level of play.
It's all part of the plan. Like, blind him so that he can see better later. Just improve his vision. Improve his vision. But here we go. He's going to be pushing out. They do have the rifle on Hoodlum here. And actually, they've got both rifles over towards the A site. So, if anything, this is a stack. It may only seem like 3 players a more normal round, but this is the stack. This is everything in here for Reason. Nice shot. But it's only going to be 1. A lot of damage done, however, onto Fry. So, much more of a possibility.
And they've pushed down Banana now. They know everything. They might even catch the bomb crossing in if they are not aware of this. Support needs to come through. That's a shot and that's an angle. Cinder gets away with a gun and spots the bomb out. That's now under wraps, under lock and key. And, well, I don't see MCK getting out of this. First, Karma. Second, not going to happen. There is Mace going to say no. And we do see a little bit of a turnaround from Reason.
Team Ace again. They're just,
I
like Team Aces. I like seeing everybody playing their part.
I like fair play and kindness throughout the land.
I like the little bait there as well coming in, where it was just sort of like, I've already peeked, so now I'm going to hold the angle waiting for you. Just smart stuff coming out from the CT side. They'll get themselves another buy, so will the Ts, and they've got the AWP once again. Now this was where they seem to take a little bit more control. Deep smoke, Molotov in, and I wonder if they'll try and set up Karma once again.
Karma. Playing pretty close by. Lots of early utility being used. Reason trying to keep back some of those mollies towards the end, but a lot of the B players now have pretty much gone through everything. Cinder and Karma have pretty much utilized everything they bought in this round. So if a B hit was coming in, that could be horrific. But Infused aren't actually tendering for this. They do have one player at the bottom of T stairs. There's that molly again, and you use it for a reason. You use it to push players out that corner, but no one was watching for him to actually cross out and face. But Aaron will trade back into this, so it's down to a 4v4. You've got 3 players now looking towards A, and you can see the intention this round. Guys, do the same thing, but one of you just sit T stairs. The 2 players on Banana this time not able to get through, but they're backing away. Oh, this has gone wrong. Now they were going to go towards B, it looked like, or maybe wrap through Arch, but the player down by T stairs has fallen, so they've got to change their mind and try and do something on the fly here.
Through the gap, that's a nice shot from MCK. It will just leave one man on the site, and the spray isn't good enough. Only gets one, but back into a 2v2. This time, the CT side are definitely going for it. But as you said, they've already used all that utility while trying to defend the Banana, so they have nothing other than their aim and a couple of kits.
Fry's a little low, but he's still got a molly and a flash. He wants to play till the very end, so maybe he can molly the site, play off the back of it. Fry going to try and flash in. He's going to spot this out, unaware of the angle. Cinder falls, and now Karma left to play back in. That's a shot and a half, but now the final man that stands in his way is Aaron. He expects the angle, he doesn't hit the shot, has to go back in, and he can't do it. Aaron's there, but it's not Aaron getting pumped up. It's the man behind him.
Yeah. Coach Neil just getting into it.
Coach Neil.
He's not on the floor anymore. Like, I'm happy. He's pumped.
But he's like those dads when they go to watch their son play football. You know what I mean? That gets a little over-invested into it and starts yelling at the other 10-year-olds.
Get him!
Get him! Chill out a bit. It was a very important round. Taking nothing away from that was important because not only did they get one on the board, they forced Reason's money now down to pretty much, well, not nothing. They did pretty well with the Deagle before, but very, very limited amounts.
Yeah, Karma already going to be burnt down early. No AWP this time. They are looking to try and take some presence over towards that Banana. Red Snake just going to be waiting in the smoke. A couple of smokes, in fact. But not a lot of control able to be taken. They're going to try this again. This time Cinder isn't blind, but his opponent is. Takes a couple of shots, but he will at least get one for his troubles. They've rotated a second player over to B as well, so it leaves just Hoodlum, who has been doing quite well over towards A. So it has to be said, like, his positional play has been on point.
Doing very well. Fry having a couple of pot shots. Missing a bit of a sitter, and you can tell he's happy with that as he throws his mouse around the room. Hoodlum is the only one by A, but bear in mind what he managed with the Deagle before was absolute filth, so I wouldn't take it too lightly. Again, he can just try and play this one out late if they don't split someone through the apartments, maybe just hinder the bomb plant, or they're going to wrap through Arch and then just completely screw over Reason. I don't know why they would. They've spotted out a couple of, they felt the presence at Banana. I don't know why they would. They can just go back towards A, and now he puts it down to Hoodlum. How much damage can he do? How good is he really with this Deagle? That's not a bad start.
Yeah, it leaves the other 2 players, though, with very little, and may just want to hold on to the extra armor, the pistols for the next round. Looking like at least there's a chance to get an exit. That could be something. Obviously, all the players with either AKs or AWP, so either one of those would be a huge bonus going into the next round. There you go. Karma's already managed to get one, and he's out of there. No point challenging for here on out. They're not expecting to win the round, but whatever they can get is going to be a nice little bonus.
Yeah, that other gun was down in Graveyard, so not unlikely to get hold of. But this... MCK, please! Oh my god.
Close.
Great. You hit those shots, but can we get a slow-mo replay of that very, very awkward 5-7? Like, this is just 4 missed shots coming through. But that's the sort of nerves that these guys wouldn't have online. You sit at home, your own setup, comfortable. You maybe go to an iSeries and it's literally your own PC. And look at this. Craig's been hitting absolute bangers, but you just... a touch behind, just a little behind, maybe a little not quite on point. You can see the difference it makes, but this is looking more and more like maybe a 10-5 half to me. I'm feeling that Infused are looking overall quite strong on the T side, but again, looking at UKCS so far, I can't believe that means anything overall.
Orb changing hands. So it's going to be Hoodlum now. He's been doing well with the Deag, so another one-shot weapon is going to be his AWP looking down mid. I think it's just based on position. Karma clearly wanting to switch over, and he has found that early kill, so clearly that's the way to work things.
Yeah, it could be spawn-based. Maybe he just had a slightly better spawn to make a play towards middle. Maybe he just fancied it, and as you said, it's worked out well.
Yeah, T-side falling back into much more of a default round, though, waiting for further aggression. Now, Reason don't really have any, reason to go for it. And they are actually going to rotate another player over towards the B side. So going for a bit more of a read in this round. Red Snake looking to try and find the pick. Obviously finding the AWP on the body of his teammate Isn't going to spot anything out as of yet. Very passive hold coming in from Reason Gaming, just waiting back, hoping for someone to push into their crosshairs.
I think Karma's basically just going to play contact to just smoke it out if he feels it. So close by. And as soon as they, yeah, there it comes. Smoke comes in, Molly's come out. There's the counter. They're going to have to try and commit through this. You can see them wanting it. You can see the idea from Red Snake, but then they just kind of hit a brick wall. And that brick wall is Cinder, blocking the way. Aaron and now MCK have to try and fight back in, but even though with MCK doing wonders over by A, this might be a little too far. 25 seconds, 4 players in front, not gonna happen. A slither of hope reappears there at the end for Reason, but that's, I've got to say overall, Infused, the T side looked pretty decent. I've got to say some of the hits that come through once they worked out that CT side wrap was working well. Why did they exploit that one?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff they were doing, as it was pointed out on the desk earlier, it wasn't the most complicated strategies in the world. We saw a lot of wraparounds. We saw a lot of the time the B hits at least were successful based on aggression coming out from the CT side, and without too much utility behind it. A lot of it was just like really weird delayed peaks to try and get information, and by that point it was a little bit too late. They'd already lost so much control, and I have to give credit to Infused there that in terms of actually taking apps and banana and having players waiting in middle as well, they seem to have so much of the map by the time they actually went to execute onto a site.
Personally for me, in games like this where you've got, you know, the more quote-unquote puggy style, I'm all about just the solid default to start with and then transition into something. Just show that map presence. Don't allow them to try and do something quirky or annoying. You don't particularly need that. You don't want that rush down banana with no reason to do it. It's things like that that would just be frustrating. So hopefully we see maybe a little bit more of this. But again, we're going to have to see if the CT side can hold up now for Infused, because we've seen the Reason...
Yeah.
You know, there's moments that are very good, very solid. I think the AWPing that came out was very, very impressive. The 5-7, not so much, but the AWPing was good. Yeah, Deagle, certainly there. But it seems that everyone can play T-sides at the moment. They have a little bit of something. Now, it's quite difficult to a degree for some of these teams to pull it off on the T-side, just purely due to the fact you do need some coordination. As much as we say it's quite hard to play the CT side because you need that synergy, to know how to respond, to get that perfect timing off, you know, which smoke do I do, where do I fit in, am I third in, am I second, you know, things like that aren't easy to pick up on. But we'll see how that affects some Reason now on the T side, on the attack, of course, and Team Infused. It's their shot on CT. Do they finally lock this one out? Is this finally the first team we see who can actually handle a CT side?
I'm interested in the HE choice over the smoke when buying up a kit. I'm not sure I agree with that. I always like to see a smoke, but hasn't been thrown in as of yet. We're seeing a lot of presence in middle, but the bomb still waits down the bottom. Aaron starts things off, finds one, and it's all just an elaborate ruse as Fry finds a double headshot. This pistol round is going to be a struggle for Reason now, as they've got 2 players left, just looking for overfaces, and Fry, well, he is going to keep peeking. He does have an advantage with that USP, but in the end, he decides to fall back. I think that's a smarter choice.
It looked, looking where the bomb is and where the other player was, it looked like they had an intention of maybe, you know, getting towards B, trying to punish the players, pushing down banana. You used to do old hits through second mid, you throw a load of decoys up, you make a load of noise, come right back down middle, join up with your teammates who are waiting T stairs, and by that point, the CTs normally would have pushed down banana. Didn't have the time to do it. They'd lost out on CT Arch. I think they went a little too deep if that was their intention. May not have been. But now, as said, down to Cinder and Cray to try and make something happen, but they have no real step anywhere. They don't know where the CTs are anymore. They never really got that much fed through to them. Cray doesn't have any armor and he doesn't have a head anymore. There it goes, and it's down to Cinder, trying to get back into this. 1 kill so far. And Tech9's been found, so maybe he'll do something with it, but only 18 seconds.
Yeah, that's the big thing. The time is just ticking away. He's going to spam, finds one. Actually, the last player on the site is pretty low on HP, but it won't matter. Doesn't manage to do anything more, and while what could have been doesn't really matter. They seem to have a strategy. They may have been trying to wrap Arch as well. I think they had 3 players looking in that direction, but wow, this was it, wasn't it? Just the bait and switch. Gotta love it. Aaron just playing his role perfectly, gets the 1 kill, and just runs off and leaves it down to Fry.
Alright. This is the scary one though, which is a strange one because it shouldn't be. But for some reason it always does feel that way, that you just don't want to lose that, especially on the CT side. You just don't want to lose that money. And we can see that big hit up to Banana, but look at those nades. It's torn them apart. The HP is just reeling off the back of it. Now good kills do come in for Reason. They found them both. But if they get a plant out of this, that's still impressive, but that molly could cause problematic. And no, the shots come in, they hinder the bomb crossing. Finally it gets towards the site. The bomb will go down, but look at what they're left with.
Yeah, they're so low on HP, it's going to have to be instant headshots. They've just got to take them down before they can even peek around the corners. Fry going to be pushing in, already gets himself one. There's another player to wrap. Nice headshot comes in. Actually, Karma's got another. Using the Deagle, the perfect weapon for these situations. He's not that low on HP, but he is going to peek out. Spots his opposition in Fry, looks for more, tries to pre-fire the angle. He's still stuck behind. Bomb going to be tapped, and this is all just a play from Fry to get him to peek through that smoke. But Karma hasn't bought it at all. He's still just dodging bullets like a maestro at the moment. And the knife going to be coming in, but it just doesn't matter. This has all gone wrong for the CT side. And what should have been an easy round for Infused has gone the way of reason. Or not, I suppose, if you're not using it as their team name.
Oh, what a round. That's not good. It's just the early damage, right? You look at the early start of this round.
I don't want to watch this again.
No, don't make us see it. It hurts me. But no, it's the fact that they got such early good early damage. They eventually got overrun, which it can happen. It's frustrating, but it happens. But now the problem is for Infused, their money is in such a weird spot here. They're able to fashion some form of buy, but it's so shambolic. It's so patchy. You've got
jumble sale.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a rifle there on Fry, but the rest you got UMPs. Other SMGs, P250s, CZs, it's not great.
Well, it really is. It's a reforce, but with a knife kill, which that doesn't happen very often, it has to be said. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy round for them, and they've sort of given Reason a bit of a lifeline early on, because you sort of look at those pistol rounds going their way, the follow-up rounds, and they're quite far in front. They'll have a 6-round lead. Instead, they've lost one early. The AKs now go into the hands of Reason, and they don't have that economy boost. They don't have that build-up of utility that is so vital when it comes to a map like Inferno. Now, in this round, at least, they've gone for nothing in terms of information. It's all sit back, relax, and wait for the Ts to push into our crosshairs.
Is either player up on this box going to be played in by Red Snake or vice versa? See how it goes down. See who gets first contact. Here we go. Swinging should happen about now. Red Snake unable to really capitalize on much there, but 4 players here and the rotate's coming through. Fry will be there in a second. No smoke on the cross. They have no smokes left. This could be very problematic. Fry could really have his way with them, but no, he gets found in the end by Hoodlum. Great connection from him, but curious as to how they don't have a single smoke left on the T side for the cross.
Yeah, it is peculiar to say the least, but they did have the longer range weapon. Maybe that was the idea. I don't know if that's a very good idea, but it might have been the plan. Just take the range battle, a little bit unexpected. But T's now in an after plant position. Bomb down. They have 3 rifles versus the 1 on Aaron, who has picked up the kit. MCK also has himself a Molotov to be thrown in, but it's not going to do anything. All the players are just waiting down Banana. This strategy is just cruel to clear it out so difficult, but Aaron has managed one, but there's so many angles to check. They're pretty much going to have to try and go for the defuse, and MCK, well, he was the one with the kit anyway, so him running down, there was no chance in that round, and in the end, well, Reason get another.
Yep. If they're winning rounds, if they're losing them, these aren't rounds that you're happy with either. They're incredibly sloppy. Good shots coming out, but you shouldn't be depending on someone like Hoodlum having to hit that many shots in a row to get you into a round.
Yeah. When
you had that much of a better buy, you had so much ability then to overrun them. Now, of course, the CTs are going to suffer under this. They're finally going to be humbled a little bit, but they've gone for a stack out towards B. And the P250's come alive. Cinder and Mace shredded as Karma trying to pick up the pieces that were left there. He's done very well at that. 3v3. And they're still going B. This is the thing. You put 2 players down there, you entice them in, think, oh, that's it. That's all they've got. And now the rest of Infused need to sit back and not show too much. MCK going to take the first fight. And now this is where the trap could be sprung. They wait. Fry misses every shot possible.
Actually does manage to get one, though, and there's a couple of... Well, Karma's very low. Actually hits the headshot as well. Aaron looking to try and turn things around, but Hoodlum, well, he's done what they should have done a long time ago and got the hell out of there, going back towards A, although it's a bit of a bait. He's trying to catch him, looks back in, peeks the angle, somehow doesn't do that much damage, and Aaron's just sitting there like, okay, well, I'll pick up the AK now. If you want to peek this again, I'll give you another go. But Hoodlum has finally gone to A. He's going to get that bomb down. They'll get some bonus money, which they may need into the next round if he can't clutch this out for the 2nd round in a row.
Now, I'm wondering if Aaron's going to work out where that's planted. Genuinely, Hoodlum's position is not standard, but it's a good plant for it, right? If you can check the back right of sight, if Hoodlum doesn't peek up and down to keep an eye on it, this should be the next piece in Aaron's puzzle. Working this out, he's going to check, but does he check Graveyard? Aaron, you've got to do it. He knows he had the right idea, but in the end, the armor, the positioning, holding the angle, Hoodlum again, saving the day, but that gets far too close again.
Yeah, two last rounds where there haven't been a fall by either time for the CT side, and it comes down to one man. The non-UK player, of course, which is lovely. But just thought I'd add that in, but never mind. 9-10. It's still a very close affair at the moment, but this is where Infused get themselves a bye. Fry doesn't have any armor behind this AWP, and a lot of utility normally gets thrown up the top of Banana, so he has to be quite careful with it, at least for the early parts of the round. And this time, at least, smoke on every single player, so we should have something for that cross if they do go B once again.
You say that. Karma.
And nade.
Yeah. Drops out the nade, but does lose his life for it. In the end, for now, Infuse retain that banana control. That pathway towards B stays in their hand. You can see that Craze may be having a little go at this eventually, but the rest of the players, for a reason, working their way through the apartments, putting Mace up towards middle. Here's the re-smoke. Infuse being quite meticulous on the timing that they're using to put their smokes and flashes into play, just to buy them time. They can just stop them able to see. You don't obviously run through a smoke, even though you could flash it and then run through. It's not ideal. It's not the game plan. And for now, Reason have to wait. Patience being tested here on both fronts.
Fry now set up. He's very low on HP, so quite an aggressive angle. Can be risky, but should be holding. The bomb still sat back. This is the show. The show and switch. Back towards Banana. Towards the AWP, and Fry hits the first shot. Repositions again. Flash going to be going out, but by the time they get towards him, he should have vision once again and gets another. 3 kills, can't get the 4th. But now we are going to have that push coming up. One man over towards this B site. The rotation is going to be quick. Tees need to get onto this site and clear so many angles, but they don't know it's pretty much already a retake setup at the moment for the CT side.
CTs are in a really good spot here. Will be a Oh, Mace, you good? Calm down. Bomb goes in eventually. Look, nerves then almost coming in, and it took too long, and there it is, all facing together. Infused work it out in the end. Gonna get the defuse going. Red Snake at the helm of that. But 4 players alive is integral, but that all ping basically saved them that round. You put one man towards, control Banana, it's all yours. You're the early warning system. You go down without getting a kill or information, we're done. Playing retake on B, welcome back to a 50-50 no matter who's alive. So for him to get those kills, backing away each time, buying time, so well played.
Yeah, it's the classic turret setup. Pretty much like the Skadoodle. We see so many players do it where it's just like, okay, this is our first buy run in a while. We're going to gamble, have you over there. We're a little bit low on utility. You've got to be the man to do the work. And he was. He stepped up, the star of the team doing his job. And, well, he's going for a mid-peak this time. But because it's pistols, we're having aggression over towards that B side of the map. Already full Banana control. Red Snake is set up.
Very nice.
But already Trials has got himself too.
But this is good. I like the way they're not playing close. They're not allowing the pistols to come to bear, to get to range. That's awkward, Red Snake. They've now crossed and the bomb's going to be planted, isn't it? Made a bit of an error, but Fry there again, going to find one. Red Snake can take his time. Okay, you don't want to let them get the plant. You don't want to let them get that close because it does get a little bit scary, but at the end of the day, you should be able to play retake with 4 of your players on a full buy against 2 pistols who have no armor. So, Hoodlum, let's see what you can do, though. Your Deagle's already proven to be pretty deadly. Surely not again. No, this time quelled early on by MCK. As the Tech 9 can rattle off as many bullets at once, it doesn't matter. Defuse comes in, and Infuse begin to build up rounds now.
Yeah, still bomb plant going to give a nice bonus. That can give an AWP over to the T side if they want it. Not all T sides will bring it in. It's normally more of a counter, which may actually be a good idea because Fry has been a nuisance, at least in the previous round. And, well, he did get a kill towards the end of that one. They are actually going to bring it in, so Karma will have that AWP. Plenty of utility for the remaining players as well. So this is where we need to see Reason with a bit more of a step up, because if not, this first map is likely to be going the way of Infused.
And looking at the way Reason come into this, they actually play it quite similar to, I guess, some of the French teams, like with your RPKs and your Happies. They don't play for banana control early. They kind of leave one man there, but they've actually put Cray working up on his own, but it's weird. They do this without using their utility almost towards it. They're starting to use it now. They're starting to put their bits into play, but it's the lack of early tender. It's not the, all right, throw your nades up there quickly or put a couple of flashes or that quick molly to deny the corner peek. It's, okay, we'll build up slowly. So they've kind of fallen into this default. I like the spray from Cinder. Good idea. There was a player on the other side, should I say. So it works out well. You can molly it off as well if they fancied it, if they know it. Certainly viable. Big commitment, though. And it looks like, again, Recent aren't really making their minds up yet. They're just kind of taking map control and working their way through it, getting the feel of how they want to approach this.
Sort of trying to play off Cinder by the looks of things. He was the star of the show when we saw them, at least for me, in the first week on Cobble. Looking for more, and well, the peek in from Fry. This time it's caught. That counter AWP works wonderfully. Now they're going to rotate back. Now, the 2 players on A, there's no way they're going anywhere. In fact, there's a 3rd player coming over in Trials, so it's all going to be on to... No, it is just Trials left, in fact. He's going to be the last man here, although Red Snake, maybe with the correct read, gets back in time.
Nice.
Molotov will buy them a bit more, and in fact, there's only 20 seconds on the clock. They've saved so much utility. Infused just playing the game so well with all of these nades left, and Reason have to go running through.
13 seconds is so well played with Trials there, buying time like a hero. Red Snake as well, creating the crossfire at the last second possible. 5 seconds now, they're surely out of time to get the bomb plant, and they know it. The last 2 CT players just need to hide. So well played on B, considering that one, basically, the molly that came in at the end then, the Red Snake put down, and then you hear it being extinguished, the smoke came in instantly, you know they were going to hit. They know they had to go then, and it instantly came through. And then even with, I think it was... Trials didn't put a molly down and it accidentally went on top of the boxes, but it actually worked really well. He'd smoked the front of the site, he mollied the box, and then they had no like easy, annoying route through, so you can't just jump up on the boxes. So again, it actually played out well, and look what it's done to the money on Reason.
Mace actually buying up an AK here. Oh, that is a dirty nade with the AWP as well. Already so much damage done, and well, this is just Infused looking to try and farm up a little bit of cash. Now they've got the stand-in, looking to try and do some damage. Got himself an AK. Actually got a decent amount of nades as well. Aggression coming in from Red Snake. Not something you see too often. Doesn't want to get caught out early on. That's a way back into this round, although there's still not a whole lot invested. Now, the majority of players, or at least a couple of them, are based over towards this banana spot, but the bomb is going all the way back around into second mid, so definitely not really any sort of dedication to either site as of yet from the Ts.
Right. These are the rounds where you just pray for a plant, or you get a little bit of a, you know, cheeky kill that opens up some avenue towards maybe getting an advantage, but it's so limited, and you can already see that you do have a lot of players from Infused still dedicated to the day. Until they see that bomb, they shouldn't move, and they know that as well. You've got MCK doing very nicely at this sort of spot. Cray's going to try and find room to work, but that's the important thing. Somehow the nade finds them.
That's the bomb.
I don't know how, I don't know if Hula maybe stepped or just awkward timing, but Cray, I felt as though maybe that second shot could have happened, but yeah, I don't know that timing on the nade. I wonder if he stepped or something, because you don't just randomly nade apps at that late, but maybe they just knew how he liked to play it out.
Just knowledge.
Just smart as hell.
But, well, obviously, us losing like a couple of players over on the other side, not seeing anything else, it might have just been sort of, okay,
Sod it, nade it.
where are they likely to go to try and plant the bomb? The closest position is apps. Give it a go. Or they heard a footstep and I'm just making stuff up.
You make them sound way smarter than
that.
Yeah, they've been watching demos for years, actually. Very keen. But a tactical timeout. And I've got to say it's almost... I personally think it's almost too late to call a tactical timeout. It's never too late to make a comeback. It can still happen. But I think a lot of the issues could have been addressed earlier.
Pause.
You're not fanatic, though, are you, Reason? You're not quite there.
Right, okay, now we start. Like, he's just saying, okay, take a breather. Calm down.
That's the thing, it's...
Headshots.
Because Fnatic never used to do anything in those timeouts. Like, I remember asking them, what do you guys do? And they just said, nothing, we just chill out. It just annoys everyone else. So...
Well, I always like seeing it when a team like really far in the lead does it, just as a sort of like BM pause. Although I like it even more when it then backfires. Like if you do the sort of BM
that's very
pause
sadistic.
And then you lose, I'm just thinking, you deserve that.
You enjoy misery, don't you?
Yeah. I saw Tengri do that, and it really made me laugh. I was enjoying myself during that. But, yeah, well, it's just sort of one of those things, because it's either it's to calm the nerves, which fair enough, or it's just a cocky pause, and then I sort of
that's what you get.
What you get, yeah.
I enjoy players who get a little bit of cockiness going these days. I love a bit of config.
Yeah.
I think he's great. He's got the ability to back it up. Why not? But that's one thing the UK scene has, is the personality to give it. If any of you out there watching this right now, any of the UK fans, still have that clip of Critical, I think he was at one of the LANs very early on, just shouting and running around. Really appreciate that. I think he's trying to hide it from YouTube, so if you could please provide it and bring back one of the best moments in UKCS, we can start enjoying it again. Cinder going in for the same spray, though, towards a boost. And this looks like maybe a quicker pieced together hit towards A, just purely as to how they're approaching this. Molly's to hand as well, and yeah, you can see it coming through now. The smoke's quickly to follow. But whether or not they commit is yet to be seen. Keep your eye on that bomb, because it's not quite going towards the site yet.
Yeah, still clearing a lot of angles. Slight rotation coming out from Red Snake. This is pretty much something they've done quite often. But it does look like they are now bringing the bomb through apps. Haven't found anything yet. They've thrown in a lot of utility, which has now faded away. But through the box, Hello Karma finds one. A double down from Fry. Brings it back into a 3 versus 3. Another one from MCK. Leaves it onto Hoodlum. And Young Crayon, they're actually going to go backing around. But look at the position from Trials. Genius.
If you don't get those early defaults, if you don't get that early information of aggression, this probably is going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
And there it is. I think he said, very nicely done. With a slow golf clap to follow. Very well mannered young man, of course. Never said a rude word in his life. But you can see how much it means, though, because let's put this into perspective. At this point in the season, even though it's still relatively early on, they genuinely do need this victory. Otherwise, you get to that point where you're already kind of looking at, you've had too many of those awkward losses against teams you shouldn't be losing to, and you get put into a position where maybe our chances going forward are pretty much done for. So Infused Back to the Walls have come out for now. Again, this was their map choice, if I'm not mistaken, so not too surprising to see them doing well, but getting to a nice 15-9, feeling confident about it. That's going to get them feeling better going to that next map.
Yeah, especially a map like Mirage, where it's going to be more about sort of confidence, aim, the real Pug style map, the UK map, if anything. But yeah, we're going to have the T's this time. They have, of course, invested. It's their last chance saloon, but they don't have a lot of utility. They've got one smoke, quite a few flashbangs, but that's really not enough for going any major execute. They're going to have to work off individuals. And while the man I want to look at the moment is Cinder, just waiting to try and take that peek and tabs. He's holding in case anybody goes aggressive. Patience is key, but it doesn't seem like Infused, they haven't been going for any over-aggressions. A lot of the time they've been sitting back to the site and just doing what they do best and hitting their shots.
And then, as I said, they're not getting caught out by these kind of fakes, which is nice. They're keeping players on site until they see that bomb. Sure, they've been fooled by the presence before, and if you get punished by it once, then you have to play Credence, but Fry is keep them on their toes. Now, the B players, you can see them getting anxious to rotate, to move, and oh, they get caught out so badly! Cray! That's perfect play between him and Hoodlum. If only Reason believed in, if Infused believed in the positions they were holding, they were fine. They had 2 players on the right side, but they tried to move. Someone made a call, someone made a bad call. And whether it be Red Snake listening or not, it doesn't matter. They're now down to a retake, which is incredibly tricky to do.
Yeah, trying to finish things off maybe a little bit too soon. And while it's onto that retake, they do still have utility onto Fry. Going to be rounding those corners with the Deeg in hand. Time is beginning to burn down. Molotov goes out. Cray's position is very good, and Hoodlum, again, it's just that bait sort of role. He's surviving on just 8 HP. Peak comes out, down to the 1 versus 1. Aaron trying to finish it, but it's not going to happen. The T's
sort of mistakes and weird rounds where if it starts to go wrong afterwards, you start getting annoyed. Because that was a round you should have won, right? That's the thing in your mind going, we had every advantage. We were in what was almost like a 4v2, essentially. You shouldn't lose those unless you make mistakes, and they did. They pulled players off the site before seeing the bomb. They tried to stack out, a site with no real reason to, but obviously, if you see 3 to 4 players, you're starting to believe in it. You kind of end up over-rotating. Fry, that time, does get caught down. Hoodlum's just kicking it up a gear. This guy is really coming alive.
He has been one of the pillars for this team in this matchup so far. Trials now holding on, buying a bit more time for his team. Important for those rotations. Now the T's have slowed right down, and they may just look to fall back. A 4v4 normally benefits the T side, so they're perfectly happy with that. Look to try and reposition, and almost now, Team Infused are going to be the ones having to play a little bit more of a gamble strategy. 2 players over towards the A site, a rotational player in the form of a Red Snake once again. But it's been that same sort of strategy all the way through, and Trials, to be fair, has done a very good job. But there we go. The aggression from Red Snake caught out. They go for a bit of information, and Trials now left alone. But the bomb, definitely not dedicated there as of yet.
Where are they going with this? Seems so overly complex. Bomb going to eventually work up towards B now. 3 players there. Got a late lurk, I guess, from Cinder towards second mid, work his way around. He will join them eventually, but who's on site? Again, still Trials waiting. Gonna just find an angle and just stick to it. But if you're Infused on the other side of things, you might need some support in a better position for this. The only man who's close is Aaron. He can get there, but not particularly soon. And there's still a little bit of utility left, but not much. Trials, how much can you do? How much can you slow down? How much can you hinder here? Because they've got to expect you to still be on this side. What are you doing? Cray! Oh, Trials, that's brilliant! Perfect play. Hampers the time. We're running low on the clock now, 10 seconds, and Mace is on 1 HP.
Yeah, he's got to try and clutch this to keep them in the map. Rotation already coming round, and it is Trials. The anchor on the B side, and that's what he deserves at this sort of point. Massive from him. A play that should never have happened either, but ridiculous.